So what you're telling me is that Okarun's family jewels are about to be a secret ultimate weapon used by the aliens to invade mankind. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. At the same time, it makes sense. I mean, this is all a theory that Okarun has, but I'm kind of curious if this is the author sort of sprinkling in the possibility of the bigger plot line, which is the idea of the aliens wanting to invade. And again, that all matches with episode 2. Episode 2 was starting to get into the idea that the yokai and the aliens are similar in a way. And that could make sense. The whole kappa thing. Kappas are technically thought by many people as being aliens. So maybe it's that aliens have come before, and it's just that the yokai and the spirits are keeping them at bay. These things that we're so terrified of, these spirits and whatnot, are actually these things that are keeping us safe in a way. It's a cool little twist there. It's an interesting little twist there, and it kind of makes sense. But yeah, episode 10, fantastic episode. The tension of love in the air. Holy crap, that stare, that long, long stare between Momo and Okarun. I'm like, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, boy. Let's do this. The tension, the love is in the air. And obviously with the appearance of the childhood friend of Ayase, obviously we're going to have a lot more Doki Doki feelings, at least coming from Okarun. He's going to start having that feeling of jealousy. Or, I don't know, it could... It could turn out that this Jin guy, this Jiji guy, ends up falling in love with Okarun so that we have 3 people after Okarun's family jewels. I don't know. We could totally go that route. We'll see. But interested to see who this guy is. I think he was the guy from the flashbacks of Ayase going to school and being teased, and he was the boy that she was in love with. So interesting to see him finally come back. I'll be curious to see what kind of chemistry he adds to it. Based on the intro, I'm wondering if he's going to be a snot. I hope he's not a snot that's going to be annoying. I mean, Shiratori was a snot at first, and we do get her kind of redemption this episode. I really did like the segments with her, but let's get into it. As we get into it, let's run through the episode, opening up with, yes, the appearance of Queen Sensei. I totally thought this was going to be Grandma. I was legit convinced. I think it's even the same Seiyu. I was convinced this is the grandma disguised as the nurse in the school, but either way, there's something about anime and nurses. They always in the school infirmary, the nurse has always got to be the thirstiest person ever. I have to imagine there's some sort of thing with Japanese schools where possibly, yes, the nurses are typically going to be female, and a lot of the students find them very attractive. And so this has kind of become a thing that's a staple in Japanese culture where they always have those dreams and fantasies of being alone with the nurse, but they're always like super thirsty and super sexy. So it's got to be a thing. It's got to be a thing. But no, this one's, again, I thought it was going to be Grandma because like Grandma, she has a bat-like thing that transforms into something else. In this case, a whip, not a drawing tool, but still, everything pointed at being her, except for the eyes were different. Hair color, obviously. She could have been wearing a wig. I mean, she could have been wearing contacts. She could have had a mole placed on her lip. Like, everything pointed it to being the grandma. So it was kind of a shocker when they never brought it up again. And so I'm assuming they're different people. And again, the Seiyus seem very similar. The only thing I can guess story-wise is that it'll be a case of the two of them being related somehow. And that would be kind of funny because, again, it would be one of those aspects of probably Queen Sensei being like super old. She's like super old, but she's still like super hot and attractive. We'll see. But I liked her. She was great though. Like, I'm on your side. Are you being bullied? Tell me, are you being bullied? This has got to be a bully thing. What happened? It was cool. But no, after this, we get the little rundown from Okarun what he thinks is going on, which is that, of course, the aliens are after his powers, and why they are after his powers, big question mark. And yes, he's obviously concerned that Shiratori is now going to be a target by them. What is it they're after? And it seems like his conclusion is that, okay, maybe they're after the power because they want to invade, because he's always questioned that. He said that several times. Why don't they invade? They have this crazy advanced technology. Oh, maybe it's because they can't beat the yokai. They can't beat these spirits, these monsters, these demons and whatnot. And so they want our power to do that. And again, it's just his theory. It could be completely BS. It could be the writer creating some BS in Okarun, like some crazy fanfic. But it's still a cool, interesting concept. This could be something that can be coming up later on because so far, it seems like everything that is empowering, Ayase, Okarun, and now with Shiratori, and I'm sure, no doubt with Jiji, each one of them is getting powered by a spirit or yokai of some sort. And so that could be one of those things that as it goes on, the thing they keep having to fight is the aliens, while at the same time gaining yokai powers and spirit powers. It's a pretty cool little concept there, and I think it could turn something pretty cool. But no, obviously, Ayase and Shiratori, all they could think about the entire time is how they're super bears, which it makes sense. I mean, again, what's going to be fresh on your mind right now is the fact that my school life is over. Like, forget the invasion of aliens that could possibly come with your crazy theory. All I care about is my life is over. And how the hell am I going to explain this? But no, this is where it gets really cute. Because yes, Shiratori immediately goes into her usual mode of, I'm going to blame it on Ayase. It's her fault anyways. She said for me to take him off. It makes sense, right? I'm going to do that. But the moment the other girls show up, she doesn't really jump on that. And I thought that was kind of a sign. The moment the other girls show up and they're like, oh my gosh, Aira, are you okay? And they're like consoling her and they're immediately jumping onto Ayase. She never says anything. She could immediately right there say, oh, thank you for coming. Ayase's so mean. Oh, you guys don't know what I've been through, and then walk out the door. It kind of gave me a sign that when she did eventually get, confronted by all these girls and all these boys that are immediately jumping on Ayase. Oh, it's got to be Momo Ayase. That girl is so evil. We know she's been doing terrible things to you, huh? Let us know. We could tear her down. She's apparently, sleeps with anybody. No. Bam. Shiratori, girl, rustles up the courage to undo. Let's be clear. Undo what she has done. There's an aspect of like, go girl. Thank you so much. You did the right thing, but it is literally her undoing her crappy decisions, which I did note at the time. She thought Ayase was a demon. Like it's like one of those little troubling thing where yes, she was bullying Ayase, but she thought Ayase was a demon. She literally seen this demon hand come out of her. She thought that she was trying to help everybody because she thought this demon was walking amongst them. She wanted to destroy it. Either way, it's bad, and she's undoing it. Now that she kind of has it seems like she has grown to like Ayase in a way. Yes, Ayase is competition to her because she likes Okarun and Okarun's looking to Ayase. She's a rival, but there's an element here that she does seem to appreciate Ayase in some way. Now, I was kind of hoping that it would actually show what was going through her mind to kind of come to that conclusion. Like, does she appreciate that Ayase technically helped her? They went through something crazy together, something that made her step back and say, okay, that was a wrong decision. And again, the reason that she did initially was because she thought Ayase was a demon. Does she now not think that she's a demon anymore? Does she now have, some sort of appreciation for Ayase? I kind of wish that it kind of got a little bit into it, but either way, it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. It seems like that she goes, look, guys, don't speak ill of her. She didn't do it. I did it. That's even the crazy part. I spread those rumors. It's like, oh gosh, that's a bigger, bolder move. I could see her saying, don't do that. It's not Ayase's fault. She didn't do anything. She went a step further by saying, this horrible thing, I did that horrible thing. Me. That's bad. That like she says later on, that's going to literally probably look really bad upon her. It's probably going to ruin her popularity. She took a massive bullet right there. Again, a bullet she threw. But she took that bullet there. I thought it was really cool. And then Ayase seems to pick up on that and the idea that she's alone. Despite the fact that those crazy things happen, she's going to have her two goldfish turds always on her. So obviously something happened. So Ayase is picking up on it. I thought it was a really cool thing. It's a good redemption for her, even though, yes, she started it. She's the one that did it. Let's be honest. But no, that aside, before then, yes, is the scene with Okarun and Ayase, her nudging him to say exactly what he said before. He said, I want you to know the truth. And so right here, she's like, okay, well then tell me. You said you want me to hear it from you. You want to clear it up with me. Tell me what it is. And that's when he gets into, yes, it was fell on each other, was an accident, whatever. What were you doing there? Trying to get stronger. Again, I love this teasing aspect between the two of them, but she's like, oh, she's nudging towards him. Why'd you want to get stronger? Oh, I wanted to look cool in front of you. Oh, is that what you want? This is why I hate you, because you keep teasing me. It's not nice. It was super cute. And again, it's like that moment where Ayase as well is kind of, while he's being pushed to have to say that he honestly wants to look strong in front of her, he wants to impress her in some way. At the same time, she's realizing that makes me feel good. That makes me feel happy. That's something that I like to hear. And why do I like to hear that? Oh, yeah, doki doki. That long stare between the two of them was like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to totally open that door. Yep, there's the Gyarus. I knew the Gyarus was going to show up and ruin everything. Ayase, found you. The Gyarus messed up everything. And of course, the Gyarus have to turn it into something where it's a battle between the two of them, and that's why they're naked, because obviously that's the conclusion. There's a battle between these two girls for Okarun, and of course they have to strip down naked and have a gladiator battle. That's the obvious conclusion we're all going to come to. It was cute. But no, anyways, yeah, the crab mantis shrimp thing shows up again, and it's bleeding white stuff, which we would find out later on is milk. That was interesting. Again, it was good. They bring it home, and immediately she's like, look, see, aliens do exist. Oh, it looks like a kappa. It's definitely a kappa. And Okarun says, well, a lot of people believe that kappa are aliens too, so I guess that works. So I also can't look to Okarun to clear up the situation. But no, we get some crazy sad story about the mantis shrimp thing, which honestly, again, I kind of expect at this point. It seemed like every single bad guy character, we're getting some kind of tragic backstory, except for the Serpos. I don't think we'll ever get a sad backstory for the Serpos. But at least for the mantis, similar to the Silky, is the idea of getting into what they're going through. And the idea that they apparently a child has the same illness the mother, is bleeding from everything that he, expends, gets out. And yeah, he needs lots of blood and there's no cure or something like that. So eventually, yes, grandma figures out that it smells like milk. And so all you have to do is ingest milk and then replace the blood. So now we have apparently one of the possible excuses as to why cows keep getting taken away by aliens. Maybe is like, well, technically Okarun is talking about the idea that, oh, look, we've just witnessed that happen. So it is something that has happened in this world. In the world of dandadan, cows have been abducted. But right here, it almost makes people think that, is there a possibility that other of this particular race have come there to get the cows for that sake? Like if they do get to, like if you were to look into the hospital system of this guy's home planet, do they have a bunch of cows there and they're selling the milk as blood transfusions? It could possibly be. But yeah, totally going to see this guy again. At the very end, as he's leaving, he's literally yelling out about how he's going to come back and protect them. Thank them so much. I'll be here to protect you guys if something goes wrong. So I'm guessing later on, maybe when we get another invasion of Serpos, maybe the Mantis will get word of it and he comes over and helps them out. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to actually have them show up again. Because it's like this sad reality. This guy seems like he's been treated so badly because he's the weakest of his race. And yes, the Serpos were treating him horribly. And so I kind of assume that there's like a thing of him wanting to, get back at them because these people helped me. They fed me. The ground beat the hell out of me while we were having a meal, but we had a meal. we broke bread together. Every dinner is dysfunctional in this house. But no, there was a side of me that thought the fact that he was, all this white stuff was coming out of him. Okay, now that I think about it, this is really inappropriate, but my initial thought process was that it was almost a breakdown of the Serpo's power. Because again, in the previous episode, a Serpo literally unzipped and injected into his head from his banana, and he got stronger. And so I had a thought process that, this stuff was now seeping out because it was over, and the grandma smelled that, and it was like, okay, is it going to be that he's secreting milk that was from a Serpo? It's so wrong now that I think about it. Like, this was in my head as this episode was coming up. And now that I think about it, it sounds even more inappropriate that these mantises have this similar, I guess, aspect of them as the milk. Because again, technically the milk is kind of like a blood of some sort. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to think about it anymore. It was cute, though. It was cute. They're saving him. But no, somewhere in there, besides the fact that he at some point calls out Okarun's name, and then Ayase does a squee thing, which at this point never gets old. Every time she does her little squee thing, it's just way too cute. But no, at some point, Okarun is so badly wanting to help the mantis out. He's literally like, well, do you need my wiener then? Here, have it. I'll just go get it back later on. Here, have it. Okay, yeah, I guess if it would sell very well, then he can get the money in order to get some sort of transfusion or something for the child. But it's still like, Okarun is too pure boy. He's a total shonen character. He's the one that no matter what do you need? You need this? What do you need? My arm? Here, take it. I'll help you out. He just feels so bad for the guy and he wants to help him out. But I like how Ayase immediately pipes up like, no, dude, you can't give him that. What are you talking about? It sounded like she was more being in the realms of logic thinking, not so much like, no, I want that. Okarun, don't give it to him. But at least Shiratori was definitely like, I'll help you get it back. Don't worry. It's so wrong. But no, that all wraps up to them trying to beg grandma for new uniforms. I like how they're like going through this whole process of begging her, and she's standing up there all dominant. Like grandma's loving it. She's loving the dominance. She's just standing up there all puffing out her chest, and then suddenly she's like, "I'll buy one for the glasses and this girl, and that's it. I'm not gonna buy one for you, Ayase." I'm like, it's literally your granddaughter. She'll buy it for like two random strangers she's only met like a couple days ago. Shiratori probably literally two days ago. Okarun like 3 days ago. She's just barely met them. She's gonna buy them uniforms, which are expensive. It's really like only a way for her to really force Ayase to do something extremely embarrassing, which is to act out this actor that played out this role. And it just happens. I'm like, this household, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. But no, then she goes to the door and opens it up to find her childhood friend Jiji. And apparently grandma was expecting him. This is where I think the grandma knew that he was going to be there in a couple minutes and totally set this up. She had Ayase act like this character in order to embarrass her. She knew he was going to be there in a minute, knew that he was going to knock on that door, knew that she would have to open up that door and be completely embarrassed. But again, I figure at this point we're going to get into probably, yes, an old fling aspect. I would assume that Ayase feels that, Jiji definitely gives the impression to her of Takakura and the actual actor, and so that's probably why she's still kind of doki doki for him. But I'm wondering if he's gonna totally have a thing. I'm hoping he's not gonna be just obnoxious, a jerk, and then he's also going to be bullying Okarun, and maybe it might turn to a thing where Ayase is defending Okarun and ends up not liking Jiji. I would figure at this point he probably likes Ayase, and thus he's gonna try to get with her, and that's gonna turn this whole like kind of yes, love triangle thing in that direction rather than it being for Okarun. Now it's going to be for Ayase. Either way, I'll be curious to see what his little quirk is. So far, they've done really good with the characters, even if they are nasty. Like, again, with Shiratori, they end up having something that is, appealing about them. They added the chemistry. I'm assuming, based on how this writer has been so far, they won't ruin the chemistry by adding him. They've been fantastic with chemistry so far. So I have hopes. But my question mark is going to obviously be is, why is he there? Obviously, it seems like grandma knows his parents, and he probably needed a place to stay because they're out of town or something like that, so he's going to be staying there or something like that. But my major question mark is going to be, is he a spirit medium now? Like back then, he was making fun of Ayase. I wonder if he became a spirit medium at some point in order to impress her or something like that. That'd be kind of interesting. The reason why I think that is if she has contact with the parents, other than the fact they're in the neighborhood, there's a thought process here that she might know his parents because they're spirit mediums. And even though he was teasing Ayase, he's a family of spirit mediums. Or it could just turn into a similar situation as Shiratori, where he's completely normal. They're going to get involved with some sort of spirit or yokai. He's going to get possessed. He's going to get powers, and then he's going to join the fray. It could go that direction, but I don't know that we've seen anything else in the OP of like a creature or yokai that could be attached to him, because we obviously see Silky's in the OP, so that's obviously a connection there. I don't want to look. We'll see next week if it's kind of tilts towards that direction. I only know that because I've seen it, and now I make the connection. I don't want to actively look for it, so we'll see. But anyways, good episode overall. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed my impressions of the episode. If you did, hit the like button down below, comment, let me know about the episode. Until next time, y'all take care.